This is Danny Gathon for ESBR Boxing. It's an absolute pleasure to be joined by one half of the promotional team for Saturday night's big main event between Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith, Kalle Sauerland. Kalle, as I say, we're just after the press conference there. Things got a bit tasty up there.
Yeah, I mean, tasty. I still think it was. I didn't get any tables thrown at me today.
Always a good start.
Didn't get any bottles thrown over. So you know what? I thought it was actually quite respectful. I mean we crossed a little bit of a personal line today. That's for sure. But I said before, it's very authentic. Everything that's going on. It is a genuine dislike. Like I said up there. If they were in an office place, if they were working together in a bar, if they were studying together, whatever it was, they had to share the dorms together. They wouldn't like each other much, and we sort of watched that unfold. Whereas in real life, you'd hope that they don't go outside to sort it out. We have the pleasure of watching that unfold, that storyline, those characters, and then guess what? Saturday night they get to settle it.
Where does this rank for you in terms of like excitement on a personal level of a fight? It seems to have been everything. It's good. They're two Brits, great clash of styles, and some really entertaining needle-involved, two great characters.
Yeah, I'm 45 now, and I've been in boxing 4 years promoting, and I've stopped ranking fights. You're only as good as your next one, as a promoter, I always say, but in terms of the buzz for Saturday, huge, massive, up there with the likes of other fights I've done in the city, up there with at the time Groves Eubank, in this fantastic fighting city of Manchester. It's an old venue, it's a special venue though, and I like old venues. We did Wembley Arena last weekend, and whenever I go back to these big old venues that they've got that magic about them, because you do remember those fights. Of course. I remember promoting one of the greatest in there, David Haye or Woody Harrison, one of the absolute classics. That was sarcastic, by the way. I did promote it, but it wasn't one of the best fights I've ever done. But no, we had great nights in there with David Haye and obviously with George Groves, and then Groves Eubank, fantastic fight. So it's a special venue, but it's also Ricky Hatton, all those legendary nights in there, and Eubank Senior, fantastic venue, and I do believe that this fight's one of those fights you'll go back in history and rewind and look at, and there's some fights don't ever watch again. I reckon this is going to be one of them. You're going to go back and probably watch the build-up and the fight again.
I think I speak for everyone watching this. We're all buzzing for it. It's a stacked undercard. If I got you to take me through every fight, I think we'd be here until Saturday. Just if you could give us your highlight of what is a very strong undercard.
The Glavatsky fight. I think that's one that people overlook. Glavatsky can bang, yeah. He can bang. I know he's a bit over the hill, but I do like that matchup. I think card's mainly put together by a guy called John Wishhusen, one of the best matchmakers in the game, and there's some real crackers on there. But probably the cruiserweight one stands out. From our side, Matty Harris, up and coming heavyweight in the UK. We're very excited to see him out. But it is a stacked card, yeah, very exciting.
And just I have to ask you one more topic. I know this isn't really your area anymore. It's to do with the whole Conor Benn thing. WBC have came out, Mauricio Suleiman said that he's under no ban. They can't stop him fighting. Currently doesn't hold a British Boxing Board of Control licence, but Eddie Hearn said they plan to, in his words, make a move which would insinuate there's something to plan to get Ben out sooner probably rather than later. There's been rumours that he could fight potentially on an international card. Just as a promoter yourself, what sort of precedent do you think that sets, given the fact there's been no sort of conclusion to this? There's that cloud of doubt that hangs over his head, and yet we could still see him in a ring.
If it gets shoved under the carpet, and then it's a terrible conclusion. But if I read between the lines, this is not over yet, and they've got to go through a licensing process somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't box, even if it's not British Board of Boxing Control license. There's lots of other very big and respectable licensing commissions, and I think that's something we'd have to look at. And from my point of view, it has to be a little bit of a conclusion to it. It is like the ever-ending story, and I don't know, is that the final version from the WBC, or is there anything else coming from it?
No, I think basically Eddie said they've submitted that 270 odd page document. Eddie said they've waited and waited. WBC seem to be in too much of a hurry to get it resolved, and then Suleiman's responded to that. I think he was questioned on it, saying, "Oh, he's free to fight."
Sure, there's got to be like an official statement. Though. I mean, that can't just be that. Guessing, I mean,
like I said, they were probably.
Let's see. I don't know.
It's crossed the line, yeah, for people.
I'm focusing fully on this fight week at the moment.
Yeah, and back to Chris. The nature of boxing is that fight with Conor Benn is probably bigger now than it ever was. If Chris comes through, Liam, on Saturday night, is that something you would potentially look at if Conor's free to fight in the UK?
Yeah, I mean, if he's licensed and allowed, but I don't look past. I don't look past Liam Smith. You know, it's a very live fight. It's a huge fight on Saturday night. You know.
That's what I agree with.
That'll be all from me, Cal. Appreciate you giving us much of your time. Enjoy the rest of the fight week. Enjoy Saturday night. Thanks again.
Thank you very much.